If you're seeing a geometry issue in Tinkercad, don't worry, because in most cases it means the design has become too complex for the system to calculate, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it step by step. We'll cover the most common causes, including nested groups, broken shape generators, grouping failures, and even browser performance problems that can trigger this error. If this tutorial helps you out, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more quick software fixes and Tinkercad tips. Let's get into it. First, understand what a geometry issue usually means. Tinkercad is trying to process the shape of your design, but something in the model is too complex, too large, or too messy for it to handle smoothly. That often happens when you have groups inside of groups, a faulty shape generator, or an object that is far away from the center of the workspace. So the first thing to do is simplify your model. If you have nested groups, meaning groups inside other groups, that can create a huge calculation load. Tinkercad has to work through every cut, hole, and merge in order, and that can trigger a geometry error. The easiest fix is to flatten that structure by turning a complex part of your model into a single shape. In Tinkercad, select the part that is causing the issue and look for the option to create a shape from it in your Creations or Shapes collection. This helps because it reduces the number of individual pieces Tinkercad has to process. Instead of seeing dozens of separate parts, it now sees one cleaner mesh, which is much easier for the system to render. If that doesn't solve it, the next thing to check is shape generators. Tools like threaded bolts, custom text, and other shape generator-based tools can sometimes break the geometry of a project if they fail to load correctly. A good way to test this is to ungroup the most recent elements you added. If the error goes away after removing or ungrouping a certain object, that object is probably the problem. In that case, delete the broken shape generator and rebuild it using basic shapes like boxes, cylinders, and wedges, or try a different generator if available. This is often the fastest way to get your project stable again. Another very important fix is moving your design to the safe zone. Tinkercad works best when your objects are near the center of the workplane. If your model is too far away from the center, or if one tiny object is accidentally scaled to a massive size, Tinkercad can throw a geometry issue or a bounds error. To fix this, select everything on the canvas with Ctrl+A and move the full design back toward the center, around 0, 0 on the workplane. Also, zoom out and check for any strange pieces hidden far away from your main design. A single stray shape that is hundreds or thousands of millimeters wide can cause the whole project to fail. If you find one, resize it properly or delete it and test again. Now let's talk about grouping failures. Sometimes the geometry issue only appears when you click Group. When that happens, the problem is often that you are trying to group too many items at once. Instead of grouping 50 items in one go, break the design into smaller sets of 5 to 10 objects. Group those first, and then combine the group sections gradually. This gives Tinkercad a much easier workload and can prevent the error entirely. If the project still refuses to group properly, there's another trick that often works really well. Go to your dashboard, click the gear icon on the project, and choose Duplicate. Making a fresh copy can clear out background calculation issues or cached glitches that are affecting the current version of the file. Then open the duplicate and try grouping again. In a lot of cases, this simple reset is enough to make the project work normally. Finally, don't ignore browser performance. Sometimes the issue is not really your design at all, but your browser struggling to render the 3D geometry. Make sure hardware acceleration is turned on in your browser settings, usually under System. This helps your computer use the GPU more efficiently. After that, clear your cache and cookies for the last 24 hours, then reload Tinkercad and try again. A clean browser session can fix weird display or processing bugs that look like geometry errors. So to quickly recap, if you get a geometry issue in Tinkercad, first simplify nested groups, then check for broken shape generators, move your design to the center, group in smaller stages, duplicate the project if needed, and finally, make sure your browser is running smoothly. Those steps solve most Tinkercad geometry problems without having to start your project over from scratch. If this video helped, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more Tinkercad troubleshooting guides, beginner tutorials, and practical 3D design tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.